It's early October right now, and there's already a decent amount of autumn colors going on in this area, which feels a bit early for the Pacific Northwest, but I'm not complaining. You know, about a week ago, it was still up in the mid 80s every day, and it was sunny, and it really felt like summer still. And seemingly overnight, cooler temperatures rolled in, as well as rain, and here we are. Feels like we're in a whole new season, which we are. I was driving by and I happened to look up at just the right moment, and I saw something really pretty that caught my eye. Check it out. What a cool little pull off on the side of the highway here. Definitely worth a stop. All right, let's get back in the truck and continue, because it's raining pretty good right now. Looks like we got about 16 minutes till we get to our destination. All right, guys, here we go, back on another unpaved gravel road. No good camping trip starts without a gravel road, in my opinion. Now, the plan for tonight is I'm gonna be camping at an actual established campground that is right on the lake shore of the lake that we'll be visiting. And if you guys have been following along on this channel, you know that it's pretty rare for me to get an actual camp spot at like a campground. I typically like to try to stick to dispersed camping whenever possible. But from what I've gathered, the only way to camp on the actual like lake shore here is to stay at the campground. So we're gonna go check that out. Now, fortunately, the campground is technically closed for the season, but it should still be open. I just don't have to pay because it's not in season right now, and I don't think that any of the amenities at the campground are open. So we're pulling up to it right now, and we'll go check it out, and we'll go from there. An earth roamer, wow. Thing's a beast. We have made it to camp for the night, and check it out. It is quite the lovely spot. As predicted, there weren't hardly any other campers. In fact, I think I only passed 2 other people, and there's about 100 spots at this campground. So got the place pretty much all to ourselves. Didn't have to pay because it's off season, so no fee is required, which is always a nice thing. And check it out. It's gorgeous out here. This is my first time in the area, and I kind of just picked the first spot that was close to the lake, and it looked good enough. Kaya was antsy to get out, so I didn't want to just keep driving around looking for another spot when this one will do just fine. So let's go check out the lake. Kaya, isn't it already wet enough from the rain? You gotta go and get into the water, don't you? Of course. Check it out, guys. Pristine lake over here. Now, typically, I believe there's supposed to be a really fantastic view of Mount Adams from this lake, but of course right now it's just all covered in fog and clouds, so there's not a view of the mountain, but the lake itself is plenty pretty enough, if you ask me, even though it's raining pretty good right now. Oh man. Kaya got into the water immediately. I knew that was gonna happen. This is what happens when you train a dog to love the water. They get in even at the most inopportune times. Oh well, dogs will be dogs, right? So I did bring this little towel, and I'm gonna try my best to keep the lens clean and free of water drops. But when it's actively raining like this, it's pretty difficult because, of course, the lens is just getting covered in water the entire time. So please just bear with me, and if the lens is filled with water, just know I'm doing my best here. Oh wow, this is a much better spot. Look at this. It's way more open, way flatter too. Honestly, I might move over here. This is probably a whole lot better than the spot we got. The spot I got is pretty cool, but this might work better. Anyways, looks like there's a better view of the lake over here, so let's go check that out. Not only is the actual parking spot just way more open and flat, but the path down to the lake is a much nicer one, and you have a lot better lake access over here. Check it out, you could kind of see the base of Mount Adams right there. And as you could probably see in the footage, it looks like they just got some fresh snow. I would imagine that all of the snow that's on there right now has just fallen recently, which is really exciting. That means snow is coming. How cool would it be if it just happened to snow down here tonight where we're at? Chances are very slim. I think that the temperature is only supposed to get down to 40, if not the low 30s. So definitely not really cold enough to snow, but you never know. Anything can happen when you're up here in the mountains. That'd be really cool. I could go for a nice snowy night out here. I'm sure a lot of you guys can as well. Okay, it's starting to come down pretty good right now. I don't know how much I want to walk around in this rain. I should at least put on rain pants. I'm just wearing jeans right now. Yeah, I think it's decided though. I'm for sure gonna move my truck over to this spot once we get done with our walk here. Man, at this rate, we are gonna get absolutely soaked. I really wouldn't be walking around right now if I'm being totally honest, but I know that Kaya is gonna go crazy if I just try to put her in the camper right away. So we're walking around a little bit, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna head back and maybe wait out the rain a little bit to see if it passes. First of all though, I'm gonna move the truck so that way we're situated for the rest of the night. Then we could go from there. Wow, we are getting totally soaked. I'm freaking soaked. Kaya soaked. My camera is soaked. So I think it's a good time to go inside, get warmed up, get dried off, take it easy for a little bit, and maybe try again for a walk a little bit later if the rain lets up. It hasn't let up at all since I left today. It's really just been coming down steady all day. So Kaya got a double whammy. Not only is she getting soaked in the rain, but she jumped into the lake too. So she's just totally wet. Totally wet and muddy. Home sweet home. Let's get this wet raincoat off. It is soaked. You know, it's not actually that cold in here right now, but I would like to run the heater a little bit just to get things dried off. It's officially autumn, and I knew it was gonna be a cold, rainy day, so I kind of went ahead and I stocked up heavy on Trader Joe's autumn goodies, one of which being this spiced cider that I'm about to heat up for some hot cider. But as you'll see, for dinner and for dessert and for breakfast, I have kind of like autumn themed recipes, and I'm a big fan of the autumn flavor palette. I love pumpkin flavors and spiced apples and all of the good stuff. So seeing as this is the first official autumn video, I went all in. It's kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, I'm pretty excited for all of the meals to come. Right now though, like I said, I'm gonna heat up some of this cider because it's cold out. We're gonna be chilling in here for a while, so might as well have a nice hot beverage while we're in here. The aroma of spiced apples is in the air right now, and it smells so good. I cannot wait for this. It's gonna be tasty. That smells so good. All right, let's give it a shot. Oh, it's hot. That is delicious. I had a little bit of this the other day, but I didn't heat it up. I kind of just drank it straight out of the bottle. And it was good, but I think that cider this spiced has to be heated up. Otherwise it, you know, it's not the same. It's made to be heated up, in my opinion. All right, the rain has not let up at all since we've gotten here. And I need to start cooking dinner soon because I've got kind of a longer dinner planned. But before I start, I do have to go take Kaya on another walk or something. She's getting a little bit antsy and cooped up in here. She's still very young, so she's not really good at just like chilling and hanging out. She's a very high energy dog. So if she doesn't burn that energy, then she gets very antsy. And as you can imagine, all we did today was drive and we walked around a little bit. But for the most part, she's been cooped up, so we gotta go on a walk. This time though, I got rain pants on, got my raincoat. I'm gonna leave my main camera here in the cabin because I don't wanna risk getting it soaked and it breaking. So any clips that I get will just be on my iPhone. I've got a little bit of an update for you guys. Once we got back from our walk, there was 2 big RV camper type vehicles parking in the spots right next to me, which not a huge deal, but you know that they're gonna be running generators. So I decided to move because I don't wanna be listening to generators all night. There's like no one here in this campground, and it's such a big campground that it was easy enough to just go find another spot. Why they chose to camp right next to me when there's literally like 100 other unoccupied spots, I don't know, I couldn't tell you. It's all good though, it's all good. So this is the new camp spot here, which is quite a lovely camp spot as well. The only downside is I'm a bit further from the lake now, but I guess that could also be a benefit because it's just that much further for Kaya to go run and jump in and get all wet. Over here at least, she doesn't have free lake access. Now, I think I already mentioned this earlier in the video, but my dinner is gonna take a little bit longer to prepare, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the first step. No, in case you're wondering, I'm not having another glass of cider. I'm actually gonna be using this in my recipe for tonight. I figured that cold, rainy day, start of the autumn season, what better way to kick things off than a nice beef stew? But the catch is, the beef stew is gonna be an apple cider beef stew. And I've never made this recipe before, but when I was searching up good autumn stew recipes, this was one of the top hits, and it sounds amazing. So first things first, let's start off by making our broth. Into the broth, I'm gonna be using 3 cups of the apple cider. To that, I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of this raw apple cider vinegar. Next, I'm gonna add some dried thyme, healthy pinch of salt, some pepper, and that's actually gonna be it for now. The rest will mix into our large Dutch oven. I'm also gonna add some beef broth, but as you can see, it's not gonna fit into this bowl. Got a large Dutch oven here that we're gonna cook everything in. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and start to cook the meat. So I'm using about 2 pounds of beef stew beef. It's all pre-cut, straight out of the package. All I'm gonna do at this point is start to get this browning, and then we'll add our broth and start letting everything simmer. I'm gonna salt my beef. All right, looks like we got pretty good sear on the beef. So now we'll go ahead and just add our broth. That is all of the apple cider that we made earlier, or the apple cider mixture that we made earlier, I should say. And also going to be adding this beef broth, beef bone broth. When in doubt, just use scissors, you know? To be perfectly honest, I didn't even notice that that was beef bone broth. I was trying to get normal beef broth, but I would imagine that the beef bone broth will be just as good, if not maybe even a little better. All right, and now we're gonna let that simmer for quite a while, about an hour. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go outside and play a little bit of fetch before it gets dark. Still have to add more ingredients, of course, but those get added a little bit later after the hour mark. And then once those ingredients are added, everything will simmer for a little bit longer, and then it'll be ready to eat. So, all right, let's go do it. Go ahead. Break. We're back in the cabin now, about to get started with the next steps on our stew. The stew has got about 20 more minutes of simmering until I add the next round of ingredients, which I'm about to prepare right now. It's already smelling amazing in here and I'm getting hungry, so let's get a move on. The next ingredients, classic stew ingredients. We got potatoes, a couple onions, and some carrots. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with preparing these. The recipe, like most stews, calls for celery, but I despise celery, so I'm gonna skip out on that one. Potatoes, gonna go ahead and just peel these guys real quick. All right, potatoes are done, ready to go. All right, folks, got the veggies all prepped and ready to go, and perfect timing because my alarm just went off to add the next ingredients into the stew. Those onions, man, really make me emotional, you know? Whew, that is smelling amazing. Let's see if we can't add the vegetables without burning ourselves. Burning myself. Sometimes I speak in plural because I'm talking about me and Kaya, but then it kind of just transfers over when I'm talking to you guys, even if I'm not, you know, talking about me and Kaya. This is a lot of vegetables for the amount of stock. This is like too much vegetables. Too many potatoes. Alright, and the last thing I gotta do is just mix up a little bit of flour and some water. Last step, we're mixing in that flour and water mixture. Last but not least, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of fresh thyme over top. Looks pretty good. Go ahead and get a nice serving of that. It's about time. It's a really easy dish to make, not too many steps, but it just takes a while because you gotta let it simmer for so long. But that's why, or that's how all of the flavors develop, I should say. Anyways, looks pretty good. Let's dig right in. Okay. That definitely tastes like the holidays, but you actually use more cider than beef broth for this recipe, but it's not an overwhelming cider flavor. You definitely taste the spice, but it's kind of just like a subtle after note, which is really nice. It's really pleasant. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't going to be like overwhelmingly cider flavored, which it's not, surprisingly. This truly is like such a great holiday meal. Could totally serve this for Thanksgiving or Christmas as like one of the dishes. Stew is the type of dish that you make and you just got an unlimited amount of leftovers. It's like chili, you know? When you make chili, whenever you make chili, you just have freaking chili every day for the next, like, over a week. Honestly, it gets a little bit redundant, for sure. And last but not least, dessert. I figured I should keep up with the whole autumn, fall culinary theme, and I saw this at Trader Joe's, and I just couldn't pass it up. It's a pumpkin spice mini sheet cake, moist, flavorful pumpkin spice cake with cream cheese frosting. My goodness, that looks phenomenal. I just so happen to have a carton of milk for another recipe that I'll be making for breakfast tomorrow. But that'll be perfect to wash down my pie, or cake, whatever this is. Oh man. That is unreal. I am pooped. It's been a long day. And haven't watched a movie in a while camping, so I think that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night and just take it easy. It's late though, I'm tired. I'll start this, and if I don't finish it, I don't finish it. It's called Life Off Grid. I think it's just like a documentary about different people across Canada who live off grid, so pretty cool. Ugh.
This is not a place where I grew up. I did not inherit this house. I built this house.
You built it yourself?
Yeah.
Scoot over, puppy. There you go. I didn't even make it halfway through my movie before I started falling asleep, so I think it's time for bed. What do you think, Kaya? I think she agrees. All right, y'all. Catch you in the morning. Good night. Woo! The rain never ended up starting up again last night. Surprisingly, I thought that it was supposed to rain all night, and I was kind of hoping that at some point it would pick back up in the middle of the night so I could sleep to the soothing sounds of rain dropping on the camper roof, because it's just one of the most peaceful things ever. But either way, I still slept like a baby. Hey, buddy. Hi, buddy. All right, folks, I told you that we're going all out with the autumn-themed recipes this video, and I wasn't kidding. For breakfast, I'll be making some French toast, but I'll be using this pumpkin brioche twist bread. I've never actually had it, but I saw it at the store, and I was like, it's gonna make the perfect French toast. Also, I love me a good pumpkin-flavored anything, so. Gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract here. A little bit of salt, and a splash of half and half as well. So I also saw this butter with brown sugar and maple syrup that I thought would be perfect for this dish, so that's what we'll be using. Not gonna use much maple syrup since I'm already putting that maple sugar butter on there. This looks pretty damn good, guys. It's funny, for someone who doesn't really eat sweets that often, I'm sure eating a lot of sweets this video, but that's all right. Oh, that is perfection. Don't judge me. I'm the only one drinking out of this. It's all good. Well, alrighty, folks. I think that just about does it for this one. I hope that y'all enjoyed tagging along on this early autumn adventure. I can't wait for more autumn adventures and then winter adventures soon to follow that, of course. Cozy vibes, cold weather vibes, it's all good vibes. Anyways, thank you, like always, for watching. I truly appreciate all of you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.